Kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling start to Thankful Thursday. Yes, that day of the week. We look back over the weekend and over the week, and we look at what we are most grateful for in the week that has just gone past. I can't talk this morning. Oh, got a red line from my head across my head. Oh well. So what are you most grateful for this week? I'm grateful for the opportunities that have happened to me, for getting some projects completed, for being able to meet new people this week, especially family. That's been cool. That's been a very, very cool thing. Always good when you meet family. But yeah, I've got a lot to be grateful for this week. I just don't even know where to start. Being back to writing again is awesome. Got to bed by 11 o'clock last night, so couple hours earlier than the night before. Woke up at 4 o'clock with the awning flapping because I'd left it out, and so I went and pulled it in, got back into bed, and then realized it was actually the topper that's on top of the slide out above my head, because our bedroom has a slide out, and of course I'm sitting in the slide out here, and there's a topper that goes over top, which is kind of like an awning, but it stops all the crap getting in underneath, and sitting on top of the roof of the slide out because it's just flat. So it just protects the roof, and where the seal is, when the slide out comes out, there's a big rubber seal that goes across there. So it just protects that area a little bit. And that's what was flapping. I was like, great. But then I couldn't get back to sleep. So I thought, I'm just going to read for a bit. So I read for almost 2 hours. And then I got up and came out, made my cup of tea, sat down and started writing. And this little piece just flourished. So I'm just sort of like, it's writing itself, and I'm just sort of like, wow, this is really cool. I'm back into writing again, so it's kind of cool. So I'll type that one up later and then work on it a little more. Let's see. We're grateful Thursday today. We're thankful for different things in our lives. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. Hang on, I got to turn this on. That one. Yes, that's the one I want. So what are you most grateful for this week? And today is also Veterans Day here in the States. It's Remembrance Day, Armistice Day in other countries around the world. But what is it all about? I thought that would be interesting to have a look at. So it was, think about this. It's 1918, the 11th of November, 1918. And at 11 a.m. in the morning in France, the Germans and the Allies took pens to paper and signed the end of World War I. So that's what Veterans Day is. That's what's happened on this day in 1918. 1918? Yes, 1918. But I had to look it up a little more just to see. And this is from the Library of Congress. They say here, Veterans Day, the Allied powers signed a ceasefire agreement with Germany at Copenhagen. It's a place in France, and I'm sorry if I screwed that up. Should have done one of those, how do you pronounce these things, beforehand. At 11 a.m. on November the 11th, 1918, bringing the war, now known as World War I, to a close. President Wilson proclaimed the first Armistice Day the following year on November the 11th, 1919, with these words: "To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride of heroism." I don't need to increase this for a little. Hang on. Sorry. It's very, very tiny writing on this. To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with some solemn pride and heroism of those who died in the country's service, and with gratitude for the victory, both because of the thing from which it has freed us and because of the opportunity it has given America to show her sympathy with peace and justice in the councils of nations. Originally, the celebration included parades and public meetings, followed by a 2-minute suspension of business at 11 a.m. Between the World Wars, November 11th was commemorated as Armistice Day in the United States, Great Britain, and France, and also in New Zealand and Australia too. Don't know why they didn't put them in there, but after World War II, the holiday was recognized as a day of tribute to the veterans of both wars. Beginning in 1954, the United States designated November the 11th as Veterans Day to honor the veterans of the US wars. The British Commonwealth countries now call the holiday Remembrance Day. So I thought that would be just nice since it was today. It is a day of gratitude. So, you know, I'm grateful for ancestors in my tree who have fought during World War I and World War II, and other wars as well. But those are the two main ones that I've dug out. Not dug out, that I've dug out of the paperwork and everything else. So my question for you today for Tell Your Story is, do you have any ancestors in your tree, past, present, who have fought in any war? World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Korea, the Boer War, Civil War, Revolutionary War, whatever other ones are out there at the time. You know, do you have any ancestors who have served during a war? Notice down below it says a war. So it could be any war that has taken place. What ancestors have you had in your tree that have been part of it, that were there? Do you know what their stories are? Have you heard of any stories of them? Did you know you can actually look up some of the stories in their files and things, the military files, and you can actually look up military files. So you can find out some of their story if there's something, you know, did they win any medals? What medals did they have? What did the medals mean? My grandfather had medals, but they were all towards the campaigns and the wars that he fought in. He even has a medal from Greece for the soldiers that were there in Greece helping them fight during World War II. So, you know, take time today to thank a veteran, and then also look through your tree and see who in your tree was around during a war, and then finding out, did they actually serve the country in the military during those times of conflict, and what was their role, and are there any stories written about them? There's your homework for today. So that's it from me for today. I'm out of here. Go have a super fantastic, sparkling, thankful Thursday. Remember to thank a veteran. Be grateful for everything that you have. And if you remember, at 11 a.m. your local time, just take a moment of silence to thank all of those that have fought for the freedoms that we have today. So that's it from me for today. Have a super fantastic, sparkling day. He konara.